Hi everybody, welcome to another edition of Bytesized PD. This Bytesized PD is going to cover the Share to Classroom extension. After you've signed in Chrome, you will see this little Google Classroom icon that's at the top here called Share to Classroom. Big misconception with this extension, a lot of people use it to actually access their Google Classroom. So they'll come here, they'll take a look at all their classrooms available, and then they will go and use that. So I'm going to just to open their actual classroom. But there's a lot more to this tool. So I'm just going to show you a few examples of how you could use this tool. For example, once I select the classroom that I want to interact with, what a lot of people end up doing is they just come down here and say open classroom, and they get within their Google Classroom. It can definitely be used that way. However, there are a few other functions here. First, push to students. So anybody that is enrolled in this CAS for Education classroom that I've created here, if I have all my students on their devices and I want them all to go to a certain website, I can load that website and push that to all my students. So I'll show you an example of where I might do that, how I might do that. So I'm going to go up here. Let's say my class is just starting a new unit on electricity within science, and I want to give them a bit of an introduction. So I've done a search in Encyclopedia Britannica, and I've pulled up the article on electricity. Just so my students don't have to, find how I got there, I can get started right away by clicking on the Share to Classroom extension at the top. I can make sure that Push to Students has been selected, and then I go and I say push. And what's happened is that website now will actually open and automatically load on every single one of my students' screens that is part of my CAS for Education classroom that I've created. So if you have a grade 7, 8, 6, doesn't matter, a classroom for science, and all the students are added there, as soon as you do that on all of their screens, if they are logged into Chrome, it will pop up on their screen, so there's no wasting time navigating around. So that's a neat little feature that Push to Students has, that the Shared Classroom extension does. Vice versa, students also have this app on this extension installed in their Chrome, and what they can do is they can request to push something to the teacher. So it won't automatically pop up on your screen, but you will get a notification that a student would like to share their screen with you, and you can go and decide from there if you would like to do that. So maybe a student has found a phenomenal resource on something that you're discussing in class, and they'd like to share that with you. Then they can do the exact same thing. They can say push to teacher, and it will show that they have something they would like to share to you. Another great example of using this, I'm just going to pull up here a introduction video on math. So I've got an angle basics video that I want them to do something with. So in a kind of a streamlined way, what the Share to Classroom extension can also allow me to do is when I use this drop-down arrow here, and I'm on this website, I can do a few different things. So maybe here I want to make an announcement saying that I want them to watch this video to get started with the lesson on angles. So right now, it's going to do it right in that extension. I don't actually have to hop into my Google Classroom to do this. So I'm going to send it to this class, to all of my students. What am I going to say here? Please watch. Okay, so I write them a little message, what I'd like them to do, and as soon as I'm ready for that, I can come down here, and again, I have all the same options that I would have within my Google Classroom. I'm ready to post that, and I've done that without actually visiting my Google Classroom. So that's all there as well. Something else I can do, this website is gapminder.org/tools. So I'm just looking at life expectancy between Canada and Cambodia, so we can have a discussion about that. So I want to send my students here and have them actually explore and maybe explore some other countries and to see the differences and listen to their wonderings about why they think there would be differences. So in order to create an assignment around this, maybe I have some specific things I would like them to do. I come to the website, I can click on my extension, and here I can actually create an assignment right from this area and I can go ahead and do that. So here I'm going to say, okay, so I give them all the instructions. I can go ahead and decide if this is going to be out of anything, set due dates, topics, basically every single thing you would do within the classroom, except you don't have to enter that classroom. Come here, you can say assign, and now that assignment has gone to my classroom as well. And finally, maybe we're having a discussion on mental health in our classroom, and we can talk, just say, I want you to go here and I want you to watch this. So in order to do that, I can come up here, and within my Google Class, my Share to Classroom extension, I can just ask a question about this. Okay. And the question could just be, do you think okay, so we can just come up with whatever question is relevant at that time. Okay, I can decide what kind of answer I want. Do I want short answers? Do I want students to reply to each other? All the same options that we have within the Google Classroom. Okay. And I can say, ask this question. Those are the main functions of the Share to Classroom extension. So it allows you to do a little bit of work managing your class without actually entering the Google Classroom. That way you can interact with those websites directly, push them to students on the fly, and create these questions, assignments, and links.